Clean and sober daddy here. Hustling hope to you. I'm going to read a little bit out of this book. After all, more than 50% of us that come in here and do the work and find a connection to higher power start out as atheists or agnostics. This is where it all changed for me. So I'm going to go ahead and start to read a little bit and then explain it to you. See if maybe you relate. If I haven't lost you yet, that's probably because you need this, or maybe you are really thinking about getting help. So please stick around. Or if you're new here or you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out. Connection is everything. So this is the middle of page 53. It's in the chapter We Agnostics, which I highly recommend for those of you that are atheists or agnostic. When we became alcoholics, crushed by a self-imposed crisis we could not postpone or evade. And prior to this, it's going to tell you what alcoholism is. So if you're new here and you've got the courage, I recommend reading up to page 52. And what that's going to do actually is define the disease alcoholism. Once you start drinking, you can't seem to stop. And when you stop, you can't seem to stay stopped, no matter what. No matter how bad it looks around you, no matter how many people are around you that care, no matter what circumstances you're in. You might lose your health, your wife, your wealth, your freedom. You might lose all that, but yet for some reason you always pick back up. So it's going to describe what's going on with you, and you'll find yourself in those pages, the first 52 pages, I promise you. How it's going to tell you, it's going to help you to come to believe, like, all right, you know what? I'm tired of managing my life. I suck at it. For some reason I drink, and when I start drinking, I can't stop, and I'm defeated. Once you admit complete defeat, now it's going to start opening your eyes to the concept of faith, okay? When we became alcoholics, crushed by a self-imposed crisis we cannot postpone or evade, we had to fearlessly face the proposition that either God, which is just a filler word, that's it. It's just taking place for the spirit of the universe, something higher than you, higher power. And there's literature in the history of this that tells you that it's just a concept. So don't let that word scare you. I'm not a religious person, but I've got a cross on my neck because I found God inside of me. Anyways, that either God is everything or else he is nothing. God either is or he isn't. What was our choice to be? So it's showing me here the powerlessness and that I suck at managing my life. And maybe I should be open-minded to a new manager, and it's going to give me more evidence. Arrived at this point, we were squarely confronted with the question of faith. We couldn't duck the issue. Some of us have already walked far over the bridge of reason, so guys like me grew up believing only in reason. It's got to explain itself. It's got to make sense. It's got to be right in front of me. Towards the desired shore of faith. The outliers and the promises of the new land had brought luster to tired eyes and fresh courage to flagging spirits. Friendly hands had stretched out in welcome. We were grateful that reason had brought us so far, but somehow we couldn't quite step ashore. So now I hit this desperation. I see what all these people are trying to offer me. It's nice, it's thoughtful, I'm grateful for it, but I just don't know. I'm trying to dipping my toes in whatever the hell they got going on, right? Perhaps we had been leaning too heavily on reason. That last mile, and we did not like to lose our support, right? So I feel like, all right, fine, if I give up, I'm going to just lose it all. Like, I need to have some sort of control, some sort of power in my life, but actually I run my life into the shithole, So maybe managing my life is the reason I drink so much. Anyways, that was natural, but let us think a little more closely. Without knowing it, had we not been brought to where we stood by a certain kind of faith? Raise your hand, right? Had I not needed a little bit of faith to just go ahead and step into one of those meetings, or to just go ahead and open this book, or to just go ahead and make that phone call, or go to treatment, or check myself into a hospital, right? Actually, that takes a little faith. I had to say, okay, I need help. Please help me. I trust that whatever's going on here might help me. That takes a little bit of faith. That's all faith is, right? Or did we not believe in our own reasoning? Did we have confidence in our ability to think? I did. I believed in my reasoning. I had confidence in that. What was that but a sort of faith? Oh, wow. Yes, we had been faithful, abjectly faithful to the God of reason. Okay, so now it's telling me that the concept of reason is really a God of reason. That's true. So in one way or the other, we discovered that faith had been involved all the time. You know what? I'm starting to realize that. That doesn't mean religion. This isn't religion. Faith, just the idea of practicing faith. We found too that we had been worshipers. What a state of mental goose flesh that is. That used to bring on. Had we not variously worshipped people? For sure. Relationships, girls that I love, my family, my kids, right? Yeah, I have. Sentiment? Yeah, absolutely. Things, money, and ourselves? I have been a worshiper. That's true. And then, with a better motive, had we not worshipfully beheld the sunset? This is where it got me. You ever just sit on a mountain or under the stars or watch the sunset and you're like, man, this is beautiful. How the hell did all this get created, right? That's a practice of faith. That's worshiping the sunset. Something I can't see or I can't understand. I don't know how it's there or why it's there. Something had to create it, right? The sea or a flower. Had we beheld the sunset, had we not worshipfully beheld the sunset, sea, or a flower, who of us had not loved something or somebody? Absolutely. How much did these feelings, these loves, these worshipers have to do with pure reason? Little to nothing. We saw it last. Were not these things the tissue of which our lives were constructed? Absolutely. Every aspect of my life identifies some sort of faith with it. Every bit of it. Every time I walked through a trial or tribulation, every time I had the courage to try something new, every relationship I went into, every relationship I walked out of, every time I woke up for another day and I took all the task at hand and I applied for that job and I did the right, that all takes some sort of faith. Do not these feelings, after all, determine the course of our existence? Absolutely. It was impossible to say we had no capacity for faith or love or worship. In one form or the other, we'd be living by faith and little else. So all this is trying to get me to do is understand that I'm not God. I'm tired of running my own life. I've been defeated by booze or drugs. I need help. So maybe I'll just go ahead and have a little faith that whatever the power is in the rooms of recovery can help me. And that whatever's going on in life, if I just get out of the way and I just believe it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. Just trust the power that whoever made the universe, whatever you want to say, you know. Imagine life without faith, where nothing left but pure reason. It wouldn't be life. But we believed in life. Of course we did, don't you? We could not prove life in the sense that you can prove a straight line in the shortest distance between 2 points. That's all I thought I needed. Prove it to me. Show yourself, God. Show yourself, right? But really all I need is just a concept and a practice of faith. That's it. And it's been there the whole time. So I need to tap into that inner resource. That's where I found it. I did the rest of the steps. I cleared away all the stuff blocking me, like calamity, pomp, worship of other things, fear, anxiety, resentment. I did the process of the steps, and that's what helps me let go of all these things that have been weighing me down. As a result, I've got a clear conscience from my heart to my head. That's where I found this connection to faith, right? This is all it is. It's preparing you to make a decision to turn your will and your life over to this power. The power that you see the evidence around you. If you go to those meetings long enough, you'll see the evidence of where God has been, the concept of God. You'll see people from the gutters living in a house that they own, raising a child by themselves, and having 0 bad days. You can do this. First, you have to have that desperation. You have to admit complete defeat, surrender. The act of surrender is the act of saying, I'm defeated. What happens when the people of war are defeated and they raise that white flag? They are now willing to let you show them how to rebuild. What can I do? Right? I surrender. And then once you surrender and you come to believe that whatever power is helping these people in recovery, not religion, whatever power is just flowing through the rooms of recovery, you'll see the evidence. Whatever that is, maybe it'll work for me too. But I need to be open-minded and willing to take new actions that they're going to show me. Somebody's going to show me these actions. And then they're going to show me how to get rid of all that stuff that's blocking my vision so that I could have a clear conscience from my heart to my head. And I can live by faith. And when you learn to live by faith, getting out of your own way, you quit fighting everything and everyone. You learn to let go of control. You learn to be loving and tolerant towards others, right? You practice acceptance of life on life's terms, life on God's terms. You don't have to like it, but you practice just being okay no matter what's happening, walking through things instead of letting it weigh you down. When you start to learn to live like that, your spiritual malady will be overcome. When you heal spiritually, alcoholism's a threefold disease. When you heal spiritually, you can straighten out mentally and physically. And before you're even done with that process, whether you believe me or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether you like it or not, before you're done with that process, you're going to have a spiritual experience or a spiritual awakening that's going to completely change the way you think and feel. And you're going to come look back at this like, holy crap, it worked. It really, really did. I haven't thought about a drink in years.